It's me, I'm back with the view. I'm not doing the video that I wanted to do this week because I didn't get the parts in, but since we're having cooler temperatures at night and I'm noticing that the amp is being extra finicky, I'm going to go ahead and see if this new one that I got will actually work. Model number for the 2004 and 2005 cars with the built-in subwoofer and amplifier from the factory. And the 2006 and 2007 is a completely different number, as is the 2002 and 2003. As best I know, unless you want to repin everything, they are not cross-compatible. If you have an 0405, you got to get the 0405 version. Well, I've got three now. The one that came in my car that I played y'all the audio as it was quiet going down the highway to the point where it was a whisper. So that'll get rolled in. Well, this is fun. This is what the winter's like. My music is full blast. Can't get any louder. All the way down. All the way up. This is apparently what happens when amps start to fail in Saturn views. Car is not that loud compared to my other vehicles, and nothing. Summertime, it's tolerable as far as how you can hear it, but in the winter, forget about it. I mean, I can't even understand what is happening right now, and I actually know what the music is. This is yeah, so I tried to call my local stereo shop. They gave me the name. Well, I did call them. I didn't try to call them. I did call them. And they gave me the number of the people they use to rebuild amps. And I gave her all the information. She reached out to her contact at the plant that rebuilds. That is out in New York, Syracuse, New York, and they said that they would need more information besides the GM part number, that they couldn't cross-reference it at all to figure out if they would have the parts to fix it. So I actually did pull another one out of a car in the junkyard, the one and only one I've seen in a year, she said perhaps if I send them both to New York, maybe they can put them together and make them function properly. So I don't know. There it is back in the back. I'm getting ready to take it out. Let's see how it sounds before we replace it so we have a basis of comparison in our current temperature, which is 64. That is maximum volume. I'm trying to talk over the music so you can't tell what it is so I don't get a copyright, but you can hear it's not very loud, okay? It's pretty quiet. You don't hear any thumping from the bass. You get very little thumping from the bass when it is all the way up. And we're actually in the 70s. You'll get some. But again, we're at 64. It's cool. This is max volume. It will not go any higher. I've done fuse checks and everything else and nothing works. So you can easily have a conversation over it, and that shouldn't happen at max volume. So I'm going to start working on the amp, and I'm going to use this as a basis of comparison. The procedure should be the same for the 02 and 03, although it's a different amp, as well as the 06, 07, but again, different amp. Same basic procedure, but different amp. If you have the factory subwoofer system, you have, there's your first telltale sign that you have it, is this piece right here. There's a sub in there, and I have verified that mine does work. It's just not getting enough power from the amp, and I've tried to talk to some folks about repairing mine, and it hasn't gone very well. They can't seem to find it. So I got a buddy who found one at a junkyard, And that is what we're going to install today and see how it works. It appeared to be in very good condition, despite a little bit of rust on the mounting brackets here. But it sits in your car like so. So you'll see we've got a little fastener here and a fastener up front. The one up front is easy enough to see. The one way back in the back, there's that plate I was talking about. It's got a stud that's coming up. There, you can kind of see it there. That should be a 10 millimeter on it. But that's our fastener we want to get loose. I'm hoping there is enough wire length, because that sucker was a pain in the butt to get disconnected outside of the car, which, seeing as how we're kind of bunched up in there, I'll probably be showing you that footage in a bit. Let's go ahead and get this guy loose. We are in fact dealing with a 10 millimeter. There we go. All right, easy enough. Let's see what we have to deal with to get to the back one, because I am pretty much doing this blind. And that was not a very short stud either, so the rear one is also a 10. All right, I got it loose enough. I think it's coming out with my fingers now. There it is. Blink. Let's pull this bad boy out. Get up under it and work it up front. Oh, I see, it's kind of caught under the lip of the seat there. Well, that makes it fun. There. Okay, so lift the back up off the stud. You know, tip it. You tip it up in the back here where my hand is. Woohoo, hi. Tip it up off the stud, and then it's pinched up under the edge of the seat right there. So you want to tip it up as best you can and kind of slip it towards the rear of the vehicle, and it'll slip it out from under there. So first thing you want to do is reach your hand in here and try not to block the camera. You're going to squeeze the blue here and at this bottom. They're both pins, and you're going to wiggle. There. Okay, that came loose for us nicely. Now this other one is the one that's a pain in the butt. Okay, the deal with him is you have to push that tab right there down and get it to come loose on this side and on this side. You're separating the gray and this kind of light color and trying to get this to come out. See, this is what we're looking at. You got to push the tab down. How about we use two hands? You push it down this way and slide it out. But it hangs up. I don't know, probably because it's been in there from when the factory put it in, and so everything just kind of fuses together, if you want to say it in that manner. So if I try and do this in the car, I don't think y'all are going to be able to see what I've done. And this little guy with the blue, you just press on this tab and this tab together, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I had to use a little bit of prying action from the side and then get it out of the way, because this one wasn't going anywhere. I kind of used my foot to hold this little guy in place, and I've been pushing this tab here up front down to get it up under this lip as I'm working it and working it. And I've gotten in here on these edges. They have little edges on each side like this. Has a little tab. You have to push down and get it to go out. Well, the pushing it down is nice and easy. The getting it to go out is not so much. I guess because it's been in there since the factory, so it does not want to go anywhere. So I've worked it and worked it and worked it enough to where this tab is staying down. So if you don't see me pushing on this, it's because it's under this lip already. I've already gotten it at least that far. But seeing as how difficult this one is, I'm not sure I'll be able to show you in the car very well when I go to take that one out. So what I did is I pushed down up here with another screwdriver, and I kind of worked these from the side, as you're seeing, a little bit and a little bit, because I don't want to break anything off inside at the amp connector. And then kind of grasp it and wiggle. And there we go. Once I got it to kind of break loose in there, I wiggled and pulled. But you can see on the blue side, you have all these little pins. And here there's 4 on the bottom and 4 on top, making a total of 8 slats versus pins on the other side. I mean, they're still pins, but they're a flatter pin on this other side. This is how it goes. You've got blue here and this tan over on that side. That was harder than it should have been. I'm going to try and go in and get this driver to kind of pry, like so. Maybe I can hold this down and pry it up enough it'll hold. Under. Okay, we've got that much going. We've got that little top, down. Okay, I've got it pinched. Tab pushed down, okay? I'm gonna keep the wires taut, but not so taut that they rip themselves. There we go, see? I hope y'all could see. I was pulling slightly forward and kind of pushed on the case and pushed forward and it slipped some. I'm gonna do that again on this side. Trying to get it where y'all can see it, where I can see. Okay. Wobble on that side some. Let's wobble on this side again. Okay. Now, hopefully y'all can see we're back enough. Hallelujah. Here's my original unit. Here you can see his numbers. And here is my replacement. There's our numbers and our numbers. See, mine has the gouging. The serial number is of no consequence, but see, it says it was Panasonic Systems Company of America. Problem is, they don't give you a January 2024. This one's June 2024. They don't really give you any Panasonic part numbers, and that's what the folks said they needed at the Amp store to repair it. But let's go ahead and put this guy in. I'm going to plug him in and see how he sounds. Hopefully he's better than this one was after all this shenanigans. Remember, this little leg here went to the back on the stud, and the other part came forward. So make sure you orient it that way before you start trying to plug stuff in. I'm going to use a little bit of grease, and it's dielectric grease. It's nothing that I'm putting on the actual connectors themselves. I'm just dabbing it. I'm just dabbing it on the plastic here. Oops. As I look back at the camera, I'm just dabbing it on this plastic here. So hopefully, maybe I'll get lucky and I won't have to pull this one back out. But just in case I do, maybe that'll make it be a little bit more friendly when it comes to coming in and out. I hope. And it should seal any contaminants from getting in there. This stuff is good for I think it's very similar to just regular old silicone grease. So like I say, just a little bit will do it. The white one, of course, goes to this frontmost. Get the hair off. Sorry, my hands were in the way. Once I got two hands around there and squinched towards myself on both sides, it's seated evenly. Got a little leg here and a leg over on this side that are different from the top and bottom leg. So it only goes in one way. So grasp your guys on top and bottom and then just slide it in. Just kind of slide it under and wiggle it about and find your stud. I'm having to do this by feel, not by sight. There we go. There. Once you get it on the stud is slatted, so it allows you to move it from side to side to line up your front hole there. And I'm just going to, I'm not going to put that back one on. I'm just going to do this because this is mostly to test it and drive it tomorrow and see how it performs. So this is not the final install, but for the final install you would run the stud all the way down. I'm just running it down a little bit so that it's here and I don't lose it. There, I'm not using any tools for now. But if you were installing this and you knew that it worked and all was good and it was permanent, then yes, you would use your tools. Okay, amp comparison, 64 degrees. This is the volume. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh my gosh, it's so loud. Y'all, this is how it's supposed to sound. Holy crap, we have volume. I'm gonna put the two together and you can see the difference. And hopefully no copyright because there's no talking, so. Wow, y'all. That is a freaking win. Heck yeah! Okay. Hopefully that was enough to not get copyright. Okay, so with that, I know we're good. So I'm going to tighten everybody back down properly. Holy heck, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I know. Stupid excited, but since I've had this darn car, I have had literally no volume whatsoever in this car. It has just been max volume and whispers, especially this time of year when it's cool. And it's so very, very frustrating when everybody's like, oh yeah, it's a good system, it's a good system. And yet, says who? All right, see, I wasn't going to do this if it wasn't like masterfully different. But y'all heard it, man. That is amazing. And this is the best. What, he paid 30 bucks for it and then 35, something like that, plus whatever it cost him to go into the junkyard, and then 20 some odd bucks to mail it to me, and I threw him in some extra because he rocked. So I'd say is the best 70 bucks, 75 bucks thereabouts. I can't remember exactly what I gave him for it with the shipping included. Yeah, I call that a win. It was going to be bad if it didn't work, but it worked, and guess what? Now I don't have to rip the whole system out. So, yes. Happy. Whew, okay.